So thank you, Camelia, for meeting with us today from Coupa Cafe. We are so excited to do this interview. Can you start with telling us when did you discover your passion for cooking?
Sure. I have always loved cooking. I think since I was a little girl, always kind of in the kitchen and seeing what was going on. And my dad loves cooking, and I always kind of feel like I inherited that from him. And it's funny because in the family, I am the official baker. For any birthday, I am in charge of cakes. So it's kind of been my thing. I love baking. I love cooking in general and designing menus, which is something really big that I do here in Coupa, is the whole menu launches and designs. But I just love cooking at home and in the restaurant, and not as involved in the restaurant anymore just because we've grown, but still when it's menu launches or designs, I get in there. Very
nice. You mentioned your growth. How many locations do you now have?
So we have 10 locations right now across the Bay Area, well, across the peninsula and the Bay Area. We're in Palo Alto at Stanford campus, in downtown Redwood City, and in Los Altos.
Very cool. So what is your favorite fruit or vegetable that's in season, and what do you like to do with it?
So I'm really into cabbage right now. Cabbage is, well, it's super high in vitamin C, but we're exploring a lot with either roasting it or coleslaws. And now at Coupa we're launching a bunch of coleslaw with a vegan aioli, which is on top of different items that we're making. Just the crunch and freshness of it, I'm really into. At home I love artichokes. My 2-year-old loves them, so we're literally eating artichokes 2-3 times a week. And it's just the fun of playing with the vegetable, eating each little leaf, and then getting to the heart. And I just think it's such a great flavor. Either roasted or even just boiled simple, with a little vinaigrette on the side. So that's the 2 top veggies I'm into at the moment.
Very nice. What would be your favorite food to eat?
Pizza. I love pizza. It's one of those things that you can never go wrong. But obviously it's not something I eat every day. Try to focus on lots of hearty, healthy veggies is kind of my main priority in diet, and lots of grains. But it's pizza's that one item.
Oh yeah.
Well, who doesn't love a pizza, right?
Exactly. And what's your favorite food to cook?
Favorite food to cook? I love roasting and playing around with vegetables a lot. I am a vegetarian, on and off vegan, mostly vegan at the moment. And I am focusing a lot on playing with different recipes. I feel like veggies can be so interesting, how you prepare them. And I went through a phase of lots of delicata squash, and it's so easy to prepare, that's part of it. Roasting in the oven, lots of garlic, and then there's just so much flavor out of it.
Definitely. So what advice would you give to aspiring female chefs or restaurateurs or business owners?
Well, so this restaurant industry is being mostly male dominated, especially kitchens. And it's interesting because I feel like back in the day and since forever, it's the women who cook at home, right? But then why is the restaurant industry not dominated by the women in the back of the house? And so I always kind of didn't understand kind of that difference, because at home it's the moms cook, but then in the workforce in the restaurant it's mostly male. So I think that the industry's changing, and I think that at least in Coupa now more and more a lot of our kitchens are led by women.
Nice.
And we have a big mix of female and male. And I think that part of it is stepping into an industry that's changing all the time, but more than anything, I think for restaurant owners is to kind of stick to the food you want to serve and healthy. We really try to focus in that. I think that nowadays what we put in our bodies is what we're becoming, and lots of illnesses and diseases are happening based on processed food. So we want fresh produce, we want to push vegetables, we want to choose and push healthy eating habits. And a lot of what we make at Coupa is focused on that, and more than anything, that you can eat it every single day and it's going to be good for you.
That's great. Who has been your role model throughout your career?
So business-wise, and then there's like obviously emotionally and professional-wise, there's different. I really look up to a lot was Michelle Obama's kind of focus on healthy eating in children. So I feel like I do that in my personal life with my 2 kids. It's explaining what vegetables and fruits are. It's every day discussing this. Every single meal has to have kind of like a rainbow, right? Any sort of like the breakfast, it's lots of smoothies in the morning, full of spinach, full of kale, full of strawberries, full of blueberries, and lunchtime as well, and explaining to kids how good it is. And I think that that's so important nowadays, and that's something that like I love that she focused on that, and that's something that I aspire with like what we put in our menus and my own like upbringing for my children. I think in the restaurant industry, I'm never going to forget when I read Kitchen Confidential, which was Anthony Bourdain's book, and it was such a reality of what this industry is, and it's such a, the restaurant industry is so crazy, and it's so full of adrenaline, and that's something that's 24/7. You feel it in the kitchen, you feel it in the front of house, you feel it with customers. There's like that kind of love and passion for the food world that once you're in it, you can't get out of it. It's very addictive, and it's a need. So it's a need to eat. You know, you don't have to go to the movies. So something that people cut off when, let's say, there's like economic crisis is, yeah, you know, you might stop like shopping or going to do a vacation, but you have to eat every day. And so many times if you don't cook, or if you're not at home, or if you're traveling, you have to go out and eat. And so we want to make sure that we provide good, healthy foods that you can eat every single day, several times during the day, and you don't get bored. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this with us, and we are excited to celebrate Women's History Month with you.
Thank you for having me.